commenting on specific issues. If I may, I would like to step back a couple of steps and talk about my overview of this program. I first learned of this about 6-7 months ago from Dr. Pramod and from Dr. Red, who was here earlier. And I share a lot of dreams with him. And with my experience as a teenager coming to this country about 50-some years ago, I am a strong believer that if you let young people meet one another and get to know one another, you can overcome some of the stupidity of the world. The prejudice, the bias, the ignorance about the different culture, and so on and so forth. So if you let young people meet at an earlier age, the better, so they can learn to appreciate the difference in language, culture, religious belief, faith if you want, and political inclinations. That can learn how to live with differences. And this is the main reason I share with Dr. Pramod. And but probably even more important than that is that he is doing all this to honor our king, who happened to be the only monarch in the world who was born in the U.S. And in his case, he was born in Mount Auburn Hospital in Cambridge, where Prince Mahidol, we had the name Mahidol mentioned several times this morning. Prince Mahidol, the royal father, was a medical student. And I spent 50 years with Mahidol University, more than 50 years, first as a first-year student before going to Wisconsin, and then worked there for more than 40 years as a faculty member, 14 years as chair of microbiology and immunology, and 8 years as dean of arts and science, and 8 years as president. So the name Mahidol is very important to all of us at Mahidol and elsewhere in Thailand. And His Majesty has been known as the hardest working monarch ever, not only in the present time. And therefore, when I saw the establishment of the Thai-U.S. Sufficiency Education Foundations, I jumped right in. And I would like to say that I'm very ready to spend time, to devote time, efforts, thoughts, and even money for the foundation. I'm not a rich person, but I can put in some. Actually, I stood to be convinced whether this would be successful or not. But the more I discussed with Dr. Pramod, the more I'm convinced. And when I met you and colleagues and see the openness of Cortland, and indeed the possibility of working with Cortland as a strong base, and the rest of SUNY as well, I think we can use this as a model and expanding into other communities in the U.S. as well as in Thailand. In the case of Thailand, I came this time on behalf of Rangsit University. I'm also involved with Rangsit from day one. In fact, day minus 300 or so. Because I was in the brainstorming group before the foundation of Ramsey University, and I have served Ramsey University as a trustee of the council, University Council from day one until now. As well, I also serve as chair of the Academic Review Committee of Ramsey University in the last 12 years or so. Yes, about 12 years, and I'm chair of the Audit Committee, chair of the whatever you call it, the Risk Management Committee, and so on. So I can say that I'm part of Ramsey University at the moment. But I also have some advantage. Our colleague mentioned the exchange of teachers, mainly the visit of administrators and teachers from Thailand here, and most of them were supported partly by the Ministry of Education, but the main part is the Institute for the Promotion of Teaching of Science and Techniques and Mathematics. I happen to have another hat. I was chairman of the board for 4 years, and still an advisor of IPST. I can say that IPST is in a very strong position now to expand into activities that would support the upgrading of existing teachers, as well as in supporting the generations of new species of teachers of science. I said that with humility, actually, because I have been involved with it for so long and have not succeeded in upgrading the science and mathematics teaching to the extent that I would like. And I think that through this kind of program that already has been taking place here at Cortland, we can go a long way into reaching out to more and more teachers in Thailand. And as well, I feel strongly that Thailand should not be a country who also are always on the receiving end. In fact, I feel strongly that a true bridge can be effective when it's two ways, both ways. And that, in fact, Thailand, Thai institutions can contribute to the learning experience of your students and other American students in other campuses as well. I think it's very important to expose young Americans to the world, and not to listen only to certain line of media in this country and think in a more or less homogenized way and becoming, in the 60s, I think the U.S. may be more conservative in many ways. But I don't think that 60 or 50 years later, you're much more open than that. I think as a world power, your young people should learn more and more about other cultures, so that your leaders will not continue to tell other leaders what to do. But your leaders would learn to listen and learn about other culture as well. So that the world will be a more peaceful place where people can resolve conflicts through equitable dialogues, and rather than the old dictum for several thousand years, that might is right. So if you don't listen to me, I'll beat you up. And that kind of attitude should not be perpetuated. And this is, I think, the other part of this program should be the exposure to as many Americans, young people, as possible to the existence of other culture, other languages, and so on and so forth. I agree with the President when you mentioned that the dormitory here should not be exclusively Thais. In fact, if you read the document well, Dr. Pramod already has given a lot of thought in that aspect, and his proposal, if I'm not wrong, is that the proportion of Thai students will be limited to 20%, and leaving another 20 or some percent for other international students, not necessarily all from ASEAN or Asian countries, but from Europe, from Latin America, and so on and so forth, and 50% American students, so that there will be an adequate room for cultural changes. If I may tell a story, when I came to this country in the late 50s, my roommate was one from Ohio, is from Jewish background. Another one is from Illinois, who his name is Finn, so you probably know his background, Finland. And we were talking over dinner, and that was quite early, at the beginning of our sharing in the apartment. One of them, I can't remember which one, asked me whether I go to school on elephants. I said, yes, of course. And you never imagine the parking lot of my school. It's fantastic, the biggest parking lot in